Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Mikey back here, and today we're going to be discussing and really just recapping what the Braves have done so far this season. This is one of my first Braves videos on the channel, so definitely would appreciate it if you let me know how it does and what you want to see from more content for baseball in the future. For those who don't know, baseball is my first love as a sport before basketball, but I really follow the Braves and the Hawks equally as closely. And when the Braves won the World Series last year, I was just out of this world. So definitely been following baseball actually longer than basketball. I definitely really enjoy making content for both sports. So without further ado, let's get into it. The Braves right now sit at 5.5 games back of the Mets for first place in the East. The Mets are at 40 and 22, while the Braves are 34 and 27. 5.5 games back is a big difference from what we were, I'd say, about 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. This Braves team looked dead in the water. It really did. And while I knew they would figure it out, I was one of those guys who said, this team, it's like we were in purgatory. You couldn't really do much because you knew this team had the talent to pull off a winning streak like this, and the way they're playing right now on an 11-game winning streak, you knew this team had this in them. When was it going to show? Was it, adjusting to play without the team leader, Freddie Freeman? Was it, getting Ronald Acuna back fully healthy without the groin problems, without the knee problems, not DHing and not taking random days off? He's playing, consistently now. Was it bringing up Michael Harris? Michael Harris has done a fantastic job in center field. Defensively, he's been elite at the plate. He's contributed as well. It can be contributed to multiple things. I mean, Matt Olson started the year off red hot, hit a cold patch, and now he's swinging the bat well again. So, everybody has just been adjusting, and I think we're seeing the real Braves team now kick in. Dansby Swanson has this is a typical year for Dansby Swanson. I mean, this hot streak has lasted so long; it's awesome to see. But we know with Dansby Swanson that he can get into these lulls of really bad hitting, striking out a lot, and we saw that early in the year. But lately, I mean, he's been hitting incredibly. His average is almost at 300 now, and just really what he's been doing is amazing. He's one of the top guys in WAR across the MLB, and especially in fielding. He's the best defensive shortstop in the league right now. Has to be. So, but he's been amazing. William Contreras and Travis d'Arnaud, the catching duo, have just been tremendous. They have the most RBIs by a catching tandem. I'm pretty sure it's 39, and that's the most in MLB by that position. Ronald Acuna has really just took off in steals. He's hitting over 300 right now. Really looks like he's in a groove. And Dansby's found a good spot in that 2-hole. Austin Riley's starting to swing the bat well after a cold streak. Matt Olson suddenly into the 4 spot. For Ozzy I really like Ozzy Albies down in the lineup more instead of up top. With how aggressive he is, I like him driving in runs instead of setting up at the table. Ozuna's been off and on. He had almost a 16-game hitting streak, I believe it was. But right now he's gone back to earth a little bit more. He's struggling a bit, but it's not like he's been so bad like he was at the beginning of the season. And the bottom of the lineup is figuring things out. Adam Duvall and William Contreras, last game against the Pirates, basically supplied everything. Duvall, 2-homer game. William Contreras, another double, another homer. I mean, he has so many extra base hits. 16 of his 26 hits, I believe that's what it is, are extra bases. That's ridiculous. And while I did know that Contreras was a great hitter coming up, I didn't expect this out of him. And his defense has been greatly improved as well, leading pitchers into games. So this has been an incredible run the Braves are on so far. And for the lineup tonight, we have Marcell Ozuna hitting 6 with Travis d'Arnaud catching and Ozuna's in the DH. Contreras is going to get the day off tonight, and Brian Snitker actually said that they're probably going to do 2 days in a row. William Contreras is going to hit 2 days in a row of catching, and Travis d'Arnaud is going to hit 2 days in a row of catching. Try and find a rhythm, especially for the veteran d'Arnaud, as Snitker said. So the Braves really have found a rhythm. And now that we've talked about the hitting a lot, we're going to get onto the pitching. Max Fried has been tremendous. I mean, is anybody shocked? I mean, this guy's elite. He's a legitimate ace now. And at the beginning of the season, his first two starts, when people said, "Oh, was questioning Max Fried, is he a real thing?" I think he shut them up. He definitely has, and especially his slider command has been so much better this year. Oftentimes last year, he would hang that slider a bit, and while he had an elite year last year, that would be the pitch a lot of times that would hurt him. But he's done that really well this year. He hasn't allowed up a lot of home runs. He's really not walking guys. Ever since that San Diego start, like a month and a half ago, I believe it was, he's been incredible. And to top it all off, he had that eight inning shutout, 2-hit performance against the Rockies in at Coors Field. That is incredibly hard to do. So Max Fried has been tremendous. Charlie Morton hasn't been that great. He found a little bit of a rhythm after a Mets start at Citi Field a few weeks ago, when the last 4 innings he held the Mets scoreless in his start, but he hasn't really able to get on that hot streak that we know Charlie Morton is capable of. His stuff is really good still. His fastball's touching 96, curveball, his famous curveball, and he's mixing in some changeups, and sinkers as well. So the stuff is there for Morton. Really, it's just been the walks, and then also hit batsmen. His curveball really seems to have a lot of break on it. And sometimes it's even, I wonder, more break than he can control. And I know that Charlie Morton's curveball is so good. It's elite. The movement is second to none, has to be. But he hasn't done a great job this year of controlling that. And he's got a lot of free base runners, whether that's walks, hit by pitches, and that's what's killing him after he does that. It'll lead to a big inning or a 3-run home or something like that. And it's kind of caught up with him. So hopefully Charlie Morton will start to figure it out and get on one of those hot streaks, and he can carry this team when he does that. Kyle Wright, he's been excellent. He's got the third or fourth lowest ERA in the National League, and he's been really good. His command was really his biggest issue of all the times we've seen him start in the big leagues, except this year. He would walk guys, then give up that big inning. It's kind of similar to Charlie Morton, what's happened this year. But this year he's been really good. He's averaging over 4 innings to start, 4.5 innings to start, and Sports Talk ATL Blaine, the leader of the Kyle Wright Hive. I mean, it's really there. This guy's coming, and he's so young too. He has so much room to grow. He can even add a pitch if he wants to, but I don't think it's even necessary. His sinker's been producing a lot of ground balls. His slider command's a lot better, and he's avoiding that big inning, which hurt him early in his career. And after the World Series last year, when he came in and did a great job against the Astros on the road, something changed for him. Something clicked. It had to have been. So he came into spring training with a mission. And he's still on his way to completing that mission. It's only the beginning for Kyle Wright. He's going to be insane. So next pitcher, Ian Anderson. He's been, I would say, bang smack in the middle. He hasn't been horrible, so bad that we're not confident if he's pitching. He started tonight against the Nats, but he also hasn't been out of this world great. He's had a few good starts, a few really bad ones. It's really been his command. He's been missing too far up or too far down, and I wonder if a lot of that is due to his very over-the-top delivery. You don't really see that often in this day and age. Kenley does it to an extent as well, but Kenley's been doing this for so many years. You're not really going to change anything Kenley Jansen's doing. He's been great this year as well. But Ian Anderson, his control has really been the main issue. He hasn't really gone deep into games. The efficiency has also been a big issue, and that goes hand in hand with walking guys like that. But Ian Anderson, on the whole, has been fairly good. On to the fifth starter, which really has been a bag of a mixed bag throughout the season. But we're maybe starting to find a rhythm with Spencer Strider, who's just been out of this world this year. He's been insane. He has the most swings and misses, I think, in the bullpen. Leads it in strikeout rate, and he just pumps easy 100-mile-an-hour gas off that fastball. And when you have a slider like he does and a fastball like that, and he's locating, it's almost unhittable. He's been able to do it almost every time out. His starts have been great. Doesn't matter whether he's come out of the bullpen like early in the season when he was unhittable. In his starts, he's been amazing. And there's really not much you can say about Spencer Strider. As a rookie, what he's doing is amazing. And it's just awesome to see. Early in the year, we had Bryce Harper make a couple starts. His first start was great, and then he started to slow down. We sent him down to the minors. Tucker Davidson also made a spot start, and his first couple starts were good. But then after the third one, it started to go downhill, and that's when we started employing Spencer Strider, and he's taken off and doing well with it. And speaking of another guy I forgot to mention earlier at the hitting side, Travis Demeritte. He really did a great job for us, especially for the few weeks that he was smoking hot. I mean, the ball came off his bat off a barrel every single time, it seemed like, when he come up to the plate when he was hot. But then he went on an 0 for 30 streak, I believe, 0 for 32. Finally broke it, but it was fun while it lasted. But I think he just needs a bit more experience, especially in the minor leagues. But Travis Demeritte was a great story coming back to the Braves and succeeding in the majors for a while. So that was great to see. For the bullpen, let's move on to that. At first, we'll note some injuries. Kirby Yates, hopefully we'll be getting him back by August this year. Tyler Matzek, he struggled at the beginning of the year, and we now know why with the forearm tightness, forearm strain. So hopefully we'll get him back, and Tyler Matzek will get used to his old self. Mike Soroka can hopefully return in less than a month. That's the latest report, and I'll believe when I see it. When I see Soroka on the mound, I can't wait to see him on the mound, man. His sinker was so fun to watch. The way he pitches, his just relaxed delivery. It was easy gas out of his hand too. So I can't wait to see him back on the mound. Hopefully we get him back sooner rather than later. But as far as the other bullpen arms go, Jesse Chavez has been all right. He started off great with us, and he's allowed up a couple runs in a few appearances lately, but he's not been that bad. Will Smith had a bit of a rough patch, but he's starting to get good again. He's had two scoreless appearances in a row before starting off the season well. Obviously, missing Luke Jackson for the whole season really has hurt the Braves. Their main setup man, a guy who could pitch the 7th, 8th, and even 9th if you wanted him to in a pinch. AJ Minter, though, has been our best reliever by far. He's been elite for 2.5 straight seasons. And I remember, man, I was one of those guys where I don't know if Minter's the guy during our rebuilding years. I don't know. He's so bad. He just allowed up runs all the time. So much credit goes to AJ Minter about how he's turned his career around. He is our mainstay in the bullpen, our guy to go out, big leverage, high leverage situation, strike a guy out with a runner on third, less than 2 outs. He's that guy, and he's going to be that guy for the foreseeable future. And so he's been great. Kenley Jansen's been really good too. He had 2 or 3 bad appearances in which he allowed up a run 3 out of 4 times. But other than that, he's been excellent this year. Besides those 3 starts, appearances in the 9th, he's been amazing. So, and you're not expecting him to be perfect, but 17 out of 20 saves is a damn good rate. So I'm definitely excited about what Kenley's done this year. And then we also have Dylan Lee, who was brought up. He made an appearance last game, was pretty good. So really, on the whole, most guys on the team are figuring it out and playing at a high level, and that's what you're going to get with an 11-game winning streak. The Braves can easily make this 15, 16 games with their easy schedule coming up against the Nats and the Cubs. After that, we return home against the Dodgers, I believe, though, with Freddie Freeman coming back into town. So that'll be awesome to watch. And hopefully it'll be a great homecoming for Freddie Freeman, get his ring. And regardless of what the Ronald Acuna, Freddie Freeman stuff you hear on the news or whatever is saying, this has got to be one of the best standing ovations in baseball history for Freddie Freeman when he comes back to Truist Park. I don't care who you are. This guy did everything for this organization and more, so he deserves it when he comes back. But hopefully I'll be speaking next, guys, about more recaps of games. I'll be more consistent with videos for the Braves, so keep an eye out for that. Let me know how you enjoyed it, and thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hey guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.